the mid without having to go for picks, and Legia's gonna get the first one on flip side, gets a second.
They have to jump out the window. They don't have a clean way out this one. Marklov's able to get the first pick over on Chris J. They've actually got themselves trapped up, trying to breach the beat.
And that is the second time tonight we've seen you look away at the wrong time, and World Edit gets the shot. Simple's also in on one, so those double ops, and there's your mid presence. Nico's gonna even it all back up though as he comes up from down below. What a triple kill from him. Simple to drop. Make it 4. Bondic now. Bother to budge back down the ramp. You get a trade kill though.
As breaching, Chris J, he's able to get out, taking out the flash blade, but he's in a world of hurt. Able to take out a second one as well, but where is the ending? What is running around with the knife? I think he's looking for the extra gold, but he's not going to get it. They're in close. There's no more time to really get the defuse, so it's just pickoffs. Markelov, he is over in the connector, but he's still practically out of time. Markelov's forcing him to run over, and he'll finally finish the job.
Yeah, if they hadn't got that pick, they were in a world of hurt, but that actually might help them. Simple, though, not going to help them at all as he gets Legia, and there's Blade, so flip side can...
Welcome everybody here back again to what has now been dubbed as the most professional production in CSGO.
I would say it's definitely been impressive. I've definitely been impressed sitting here watching it as much as casting it. So well done to the production team yesterday, has to be said. First time they've done the CSGO, and they're absolutely knocking it out of the park so far.
That they are. Of course, I'm a little bit of a newbie. You're our experienced professional here. And we are bringing you, we have a semi-final as well as a grand final today. There was a little bit more time given to us today for casting, mainly because yesterday things schedule-wise didn't go 100%.
Yeah, HellRaisers had some scheduling conflicts. Unfortunately, they couldn't find time to put all of their matches together yesterday. So PGL was very accommodating. They were more than willing to move the match over to today. So we see our semi-final. HellRaisers and Gamers2. The winner of this goes immediately forward to play Flipside, who we saw with not only an excellent game on Cobble, of all things, an absolutely massive, monumental comeback on Mirage. And I mean, they're just sitting waiting now. They have to be pumped up. Winner of that game tonight, we'll find out who our first qualifying team is that goes forward into the actual league.
Yeah, and that's when everything's really going to get real. When you get your main top teams in the CSGO community invited directly into the group stages, and of course that'll be coming up over the next couple of weeks too.
And I have to say, Flipside are in a great position. HellRaisers and them have a huge rivalry. I would like to see HellRaisers go forward against Gamers2, but I mean they've got to do that first. They've got to take the task. Just before we get too far ahead, I do want to give a reminder. We do have our subscriber button on Twitch today, so
we do.
We can now take advantage of that, and actually you can take advantage of that. It directly supports the prize pot that will be at DreamHack Bucharest for the finals of this league. All you got to do is hit subscribe. If we hit 125,000 total prize pot, we get one-on-ones as they happen. I apologize, I know the bracket was up there and I was rambling on, but we get one-on-ones at DreamHack Bucharest. You can vote on who the players you want to see in a one-on-one will be. And if we hit $150,000, we're going to have an all-star game. And again, you can vote on the players for that. So you can directly contribute to the prize pot of this league, which is super cool. All you got to do is hit that subscribe. And we're going to do a knife giveaway at the end of the night to thank everyone for supporting that. So
yeah, your rares are worth a hell of a lot more than mine.
What's that?
$200 for a rare for a knife.
Yeah,
I say
in Dota.
Rare.
Yeah. I have mythicals in Dota that aren't worth anything compared to
my most expensive Arcana is like $35.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, what the hey? It's like CSGO, wonderful market.
Yeah,
wonderful market.
So we did have a brief look at the bracket while I was rambling, and as you saw, Flipside are all the way through after yesterday's game, and then of course the winner of this goes forward. And
we'll face up against them directly after this too.
Yeah, that's right.
Very little break, hopefully.
Well, that's the plan, and it depends. We could see 3 games easily between these two teams today. I haven't seen the bans and vetoes yet. We'll get to those in a minute. But I mean, HellRaisers is a team that have had some ups and downs. They took it easy. They were formerly Astana Dragons. They took it easy in 2014 after some disappointing runs at the end of 2013 and at the start. And now they're going up against a team in Gamers2 that were actually given a Valve ban and then overturned. And as we can see, here's the HellRaisers lineup. Flamey, Dozia. There's some great players here. Kutcher's your AWP. Adren has been on fire all his career, and Angel's actually your strat caller for them. And, I mean, if they can get things going on a consistent basis today, they've got all kinds of potential.
Yeah, I'm actually, well, I have some experience with these boys, in fact. This was,
yeah, the Ukrainian guys you seem to know quite well.
Well, mainly because I was there when they were known as the Silent Dragons back at Star Ladder. And that was when I met Angel.
Right, and that was the game that you played against. They were against NIP that you casted. That's right.
Yeah, and it was a crazy time, but I definitely realized that they perform a hell of a lot better when they're drunk. And just to be fully professional for their team.
All right,
but they actually did so much better
we'll see
after
if
a full night
some,
drinking and no sleep.
We'll see if they've had some magic juice today. There's our Gamers2 roster, the Polish squad. As I said, XCSC, they were actually handed a Valve ban unfairly. Valve fully admitted it. They overturned it. It actually ended up losing them their roster spot with ESC, but now they're with Gamers2. And this into your strat caller. Rollins, your second AWP player. It's actually Meniz that typically goes with it, but we've watched some demos, and on Mirage, they'll pass it to whoever they please, whoever's hot right at the moment, whoever's got the spawn closest to the window. They're more than willing to adapt as a team as needed, and
we're looking over that. It's like it was one of the very few teams which I was looking through the replays, and they had auto snipers in the very early rounds as well, and was using almost like a machine gun to try and hold teams back.
And there are players that like to do it. I know that Nip used to do it with Get Right on Train when it was back in the map pool, and Sean Gares loves to do it for Cloud9 when he plays down by the headshot box on ramp. There's lots of people that like it. And Gamers2 has actually been a little bit better in that. So here we go. Here's what we're going to see. And this is the first
seems
time
like
I'm
we're
looking
having
at
a more standard day right now.
This is much more standard, with the exception of Overpass. So we are going to get to see. So as it goes, the top was the first. So they banned out HellRaisers, banned out Cobblestone first. Gamers2 immediately responded with Inferno, which is not surprising. HellRaisers have had some good Inferno matchups recently. They actually took down. They lost to Nip on it, but they beat Envy on it. Envious, who considers themselves one of the best Inferno teams in the world. HellRaisers then picks up Dust2. Overpass immediately picked up by Gamers2. I'm a little bit curious by this. Their results in ESEA on it were, I think, 2-1 from what I saw. Cash was banned, and then Nuke, which left us Mirage for the deciding map if needed. One of the things I have to say, by the way, about this veto and pick pool, typically what you see is ban, 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 pick, pick, and then what's left. That's the way it was at MLG. It was whatever was left. This is a little more complicated because sure, you can ban out the best map or the map or your worst map in some cases that you definitely do not want to play.
But you might still be forced to play it at the very end.
Well, you may still be forced to play a map that they still really like, as opposed to saying, let's give an example of Envy. We know they're great on Dust2. We know they're great on Envious is great on Dust2 and great on Inferno. Well, we'll just ban those two, and then it's the lesser of whatever evil is left. Now you've got to pick because they're going to get one of those two regardless. Because of the way it works. It's not double ban. I actually like that. It means that we have to see a direct counter pick, and we're seeing more strengths played as opposed to weaknesses played, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
All right, excellent. Makes perfect sense. Good.
I'll follow you. Hopefully the chat can keep up too.
They're pretty smart. They're pretty bright. So.
Well, I'm kind of happy myself. Yesterday, completely out of comfort zone, but we get to start on Dust2 today. So if you want a map which is probably known by every single person that's not even played Counter-Strike, Dust2 would be that map that everyone has at least been touched by at one point. Yeah,
and it's an interesting pick, too, because actually, and again, I'm referring to the ESEA stats for Gamers2, they're 48-24 in terms of rounds and losses on Dust2, which is pretty good. The one absolutely dreadful result they had was against Fnatic, where they lost 16-2. So they've had some good, absolutely great games on it, and they've also been a little bit off. Right now, according to the CSGO Lounge predictions, it's 67% for HellRaisers. I actually tend to agree with that. I think HellRaisers is the team with the most potential here. It's just a matter of what HellRaisers is going to show up today. They've had some moments in the past where various major tournaments, I mean, let's not forget, this is the team that ended Nip's run, essentially, an iteration of this team. So, some of these core players, as the Astana Dragons, were the team to beat NIP's great run.
Yeah. So they've showed the individual skill. It's just if they can still do this now and with their current roster.
Right, and not only that, they're kind of streaky. They've had some huge wins at majors and then lost to teams that had no business beating them. So really, it comes down to what HellRaisers are we going to see. Gamers2 is a bit on the upswing, as I mentioned. They actually took down Virtus Pro on an ESEA online match not too long ago. They've got potential as well. They're looking a little better, but I still have to say HellRaisers is the team I would favor in this situation. Yep.
Well, it looks like all the players are inside the game doing their warm-ups right now. As I also realized I was connected into the wrong server then. Because I was seeing absolutely no one, and we went on Dust2.
Ah, as am I.
Yeah, I think we actually have...
we got the wrong information.
Yeah, we have the wrong information. We have a different server. We've got to jump over.
All right, I'm joining into it right now. I actually have the IP right in front of me, so I'll do that. But
I'll swap it out after you.
Excellent.
Beautiful. All right, so looking forward to seeing how this game goes. I'm actually looking forward as well to our second map. I'm actually looking very much forward to Overpass. Primarily because with Overpass, they have had the changes.
Yeah.
And we had that yesterday where we got to have a map with Cobblestone with its changes as well. It's like, okay, we get to talk about this. We get to see how it works with now the access into the B bomb site being different.
And
I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going to work out with these two teams playing on that too.
Right, and I like that we're seeing these maps now as opposed to in a map pool. This is the good thing about online best of threes. We're not seeing it forced into as we did at X Games in Aspen, where all of a sudden Cobble was the deciding map for the gold medal. We're getting to see how the meta is going to work before we get to these major events. Sure, these are major right now. They count for a spot in this league. But it's not like there's anything massive on the line other than a place. So it's good to see. I think the new Overpass, I'm not sure. I still think it's a little bit linear into the A site where all the changes have happened. They've extended that bomb plant zone, which actually happened in a previous update. A lot of people overlooked it. And it actually was, it did favor the T's a little bit more because if they smoked off the back side of the site, it was a lot easier to get that bomb down. Now they've added that secondary entrance from that long position out toward the park. I like it in that it does give them another way in. It forces the CTs to have to use another smoke.
Yep.
I don't like it because I still find it a bit cluttered. That second bank truck that's up front, you can't come around the corner and immediately look to the backside of truck, the bomb truck anymore, where you have to use essentially a Molotov to get the player to come out now.
Yeah.
If they added, there was actually a version on Reddit where they used a tree with sort of like a roundabout where you could go both the old direction and the new direction. I think that's the best option because it does give you a pick spot before you're into the site. Right now it's just so cluttered you can't really find the angle. But I know people have different opinions on it. I know the players that are quite fond of it, so we'll see how that comes out.
Yeah, for now we get ourselves underway for the 9th round on Dust2, and we'll see who gets to take. We would assume CT side from the very, very start.
Apparently we're getting audio delays. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. Everything sounds fine to me. But
the production crew's aware of it. They're looking to fix it. They were spamming it before saying it'll be fixed soon.
Yeah, okay, so I didn't hear it. HellRaisers, though, is looking great on this knife round right now. If they get a knife round team ace, this would be, well, yeah, it's all rolling.
Yeah.
Luckily, he could do this. He could do 4 of them at least quite quickly if he got the right swipes. Nope, he's already taken damage. They're just going to right-click him.
Too easy. So
left-click him. Sorry, my left and rights are backwards. Let me hold up my fingers and see which one's which. I don't remember.
Isn't it a Canadian thing? You don't.
I don't know. Everything's blame Canada.
I think everything in Canada is meant to be backwards anyway.
You know what happened this morning?
What happened this morning?
We had snow in Romania. I have 9 feet of snow that I left behind in Canada, and I was like, yes,
it wasn't real snow though.
It was still snow. It was still an insult.
It was flurries, man.
It was nothing compared to what I'm used to. But I was really hoping not to see that. And thanks, Romania.
Dude, I'm from Australia. Thank you, Romania. I love you, Romania. I love snow. I
actually really like Bucharest so far. Oh, it hurt me.
Well, let's look at our map because we're already underway. So, Gamer2 looking to go towards that long A. HellRaisers going to keep a lot of protection towards that short A, but they've already got 2 very close up. Kusha, first shot, already able to pick up Innocent. He's also got support here from Dossier, hanging a little bit closer, but now finally the T's almost breaking through, but not all the way through short A. In fact, they're actually just going all the way up long A, and the bomb is already up to the plant. Flamey does scat out the rotation, though.
Yeah, and now they've got to retake back over toward that A site. The pistol strategy favored B and didn't pay off, but they do have the man advantage on this post plant. Dossier's very low, 13 HP for him, and this smoke's going to cover off their easy access onto Catwalk, and where Mouse is already pushed up, he's found 2 because they flashed it off, but they didn't expect him to be that close. So easy work, the triple for him to close out the round. G2 get a perfect start on Dust2. By the way, Dust2, 8-7, very common. I mentioned it. We talked about this yesterday, even though we didn't see the map. It's become, with the way that it plays and those smokes mid to B, it's become a lot more even. What I want to see from the HellRaisers side, I want to see an early aggressive A push going 3A and then a fallback into middle with just a support, because typically the timing of the map is that long A is going to be the first place to be contested, and if they can read it accordingly, they'll get the advantage. They're going 2 cat right now because they want to play it up close with pistols, but once we get into guns, watch for them to put more presence at long.
Yeah. But really, Gamer2, when you know you're up against Eco, there's flash 2 on long, push them all the way up. Nice flash from the CTs, able to get the defense, but you've got the Ts all over them. Still just pumping out those Tech 9s if you don't have to buy up anything else. And it's almost looking like a flawless round at the moment. With the last 2 CTs stuck inside their spawn, Ryland's going to jump down, looking for the extra picks, looking for the easy stat padding at the moment. And, well, apart from a little bit of a team kill right there, it was a flawless round. As Mouse shot his teammate in the back.
Yeah, a little insult. Makes no difference. So
I think all he had was a Tech 9. Didn't lose much.
No, not at all. They're still trying to save out right now on Rawl and Miniz, so they're still going to keep those Tech 9s because they want to get the AWP out as quickly as possible.
I like this from game 2. Like you pressure A so heavy. You got to what you wanted from HellRaisers with a 3 rush up towards long A. They get no sound whatsoever, so they're already doubling 2 back. They're coming through the CT spawn as quickly as they possibly can, leaving 1 just a little bit behind on A. And then game 2, the bomb is still over in upper dark. So it's not pushing out just yet, but Gamers 2 are trying to make a little bit more sound on that long A and bait HellRaisers. They're not taking it. In fact, they're trying to push up the mid lane where Miniz is able to shut down 1, looking to push through those mid double doors to try and find another one, catching out the short as well. Can they actually break through? Rylan with a 2. He can maybe find the 3 with Flamey, but no, he's looking the wrong direction. So it's the last player up for the CTs. Takes the Tech 9 off the Ts. And he's really going to get sandwiched up at the moment. Battling up in the mid. He needs to win this fight, but cannot do so. And he couldn't win it in enough time before he did get the attacker from behind.
Yeah, and the good thing is they sustained all 3 rifles that were in the round, so it was only the Tech 9s lost, and already Miniz straight to the AWP. Rollins going to grab an AK-47, as is Spiro, because getting rid of that P90, he wants to go directly to rifles. Kutcher, though, does have the op-out in response. We'll see how they play it. They've actually gone 3 A side this time, and with a quick cat boost, so they won't go for a long presence. That might bite them, although G2 is not pushing through in that position just yet, and they'll smoke the corner.
Kusha, so quick. Very, very quick. They put the smoke, try and back him up. He got the second pick, but at the same time, the push is coming in. Dossier is still here to make sure the rest of the Ts cannot get through that short. And Flamey coming through lower dark. It really just is shutting down right now on Gamers.
Bit of a missed throw by Adren, though. Forces himself back into CT spawn, and Miniz is all that's left, and they know exactly where he is, although he has caught out Dosia, just the elbow to spot. Gets an easy kill onto him, so he's got it down, but he doesn't have that bomb. It's dropped actually on Catwalk where Adren is securing it. Flamey's fallen all the way off, though, so he could try and force himself a one-on-one. Doesn't look like he wants to. He's falling back to the T-spawn, and he might just go for a really long save here. And I don't imagine they'll hunt where it's 2-on-1. They might try and force the position, but he should just sit still for a little bit longer.
Well, if he kept watching towards mid, he does the shot, so at least he reveals his position back over at T-spawn. But at the same time, the CTs also want to get in there and pick up that AWP that's just sitting on the ground at mid doors. But I don't want to get picked off doing it, because that gives him a chance. And actually, Miniz, he's coming up towards short. The flame's already down, but there's 1 over on the stairs and 1 back at the mid doors. 1 pick shot, not going to find it. Actually switches to the secondary AWP. He's on the other side. Adren staying nice and close, and now he's going to find him. Spray, pray, gets the head.
Yeah, and I really thought it was an early time to call for a save, but I really thought he was going to consider it, because now they're a little bit less in the money bank. Sure, they could still buy based on those 3 quick wins and not investing a whole lot, but look at Miniz himself. He doesn't have a whole lot left to work with. There was not a great chance. He didn't have positioning on the bomb to get it, so if he saved, they wouldn't have 5 AKs right now in that force buy. They would have, or pardon me, that drop. They would have an AWP still to work with, so. Kutcher, though, first shot. There's your long presence, and sometimes throwing just 1 op up and doubling back toward the site works. If you're going to play 3 long, you've kind of got to play for the op at Cat with your reverse strategy, but the rest of G2 is creeping through middle right now, and they're getting this map for free. They're getting this position for free.
But there's a crossfire.
Yeah, Adren has come back around, so they're quick to it. They're going to see that smoke. He's going to spam away. It's all going to be on Angel, and as they come up the ramp, they're going to take him down easily as Rollin finds the kill. Into the site they go, popping a flash through the window.
They still have to be careful about what's going to come from behind. You got 1 defender inside the bomb site. It's Flamey taking out 2, looking for the 3rd, and he'll claim him as well. HellRaisers holding the defense, even though Gamers2 with that early loss, they didn't really feel like they could try and just get these pickoffs, try and breach through A, try and find a way through short. Didn't happen, so they tried the sneaky beaky style, going directly through the mid doors. They at least did very well. Like, I thought Angel with that early flash was going to be a lot more successful with his first M4 shots. Didn't pick up as much.
No, and at that point I thought they might actually get the B site, but it was a great awareness play by Adren. The timing was as set, so he fell back, but here we go again. A under contention, and Adren's there. Dozia's also there. No off, though. Kutcher's toward mid. Angel's pushing up toward the doors. He'll fall back, but G2's still a little bit timid right now to try and push through, because that 1 smoke's delaying them. And they don't know exactly where this AWP is, because they didn't peek anyone mid, and Kutcher hasn't shot yet, so they may still think that's right around the corner.
But Dossier doesn't move away. He gets 1, he gets 2, he can't get the 3rd. The flashbang will be there, so he does get the 3rd with the pistol. Looking for nothing but the scalp. He's got him locked behind blue. There's the 4th, looking for the 5th. Can he actually claim it? He's got support by Adren, and he will be claiming the glory at the very end. And that's still a flawless round for HellRaisers. We will get the match being paused up here by Gamers2.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly Everyone's...
They just need a second.
Yeah, Innocent says 1 sec, so there's no ping issues. This might just be FPS or something along those lines. Could be a tactical timeout, too, because things have fallen apart. I have to say, HellRaisers, though, so we talked about that early long presence. There's a couple different ways to do it. We've already seen them go with the cat boost, which did... So if you're not going to contend long early on, if you can at least contend cat, force their hand at middle, figure out that map information. If your B players also have called that they haven't seen anything B, they have to be long. So then you have a choice. Do you want to push it and flank, or then do you fall back and play it from... So there's two sort of reverse angles. Catwalk to long on the cross, or long to catwalk with an early long presence. Usually it's one or the other. That whole old strategy of, you know, one long, one cat doesn't really work anymore because you're going to lose the numbers. The A site doesn't have a lot of coverage on the platform. You've got to use those angles, those corners for your protection. So that's the other thing I was mentioning. If you go for that AWP toward long, if he's the only one and he peeks directly into long, that's fine. But if you're going to go all three, typically your op's going to be the guy that sits back. So if they don't come long and they go cat, he can then turn and just absolutely annihilate them. We've seen Shocks do it for LDLC so many times. Actually, Smith's is typically their op, but when Shocks goes for that secondary one at long, we've seen him do it. Alu does it for NIP. I'm assuming it's going to be Alu. Deadpan. The dream's dead for him on NIP. Delpan has done it even in the few games he played. It's becoming more and more common.
Well, it looks like, well, actually, no, we're not actually fully ready to go yet. I thought for a moment we were getting ourselves started. But Gamers2, they're on eco now. We're into the 6th round. What are we looking at here?
Actually, they just finished an eco, so actually they haven't bought yet.
They do have money, they just haven't purchased.
Just haven't bought, so they'll be able to invest. In fact, 5,200 from Aniz. He could go chest armor op if he wanted to with no nades or limited nades.
It kind of feels like a semi-buy, though. Like, Mouse does seem to have some decent money there.
Actually, the better buy would be right now for Mouse, 6,300. If he bought the op, dropped it off, and swapped for Aniz, and then they could get full armor out on both players. We'll see if they want to go that way. Aniz so far has only... He's been effective, but not so much with the AWP because they've lost all the gun rounds that they've had it out. It's been more in the pistol rounds and that he's found the kills. So the only one yet to get a kill on the board is the strat caller, actually, for G2. He's got 0 right now. That's innocent. He's too innocent, man. He needs to get lethal.
Really?
Really.
We're hitting that level of puns already?
Oh, the level of puns with me are... never cease to amaze me at how low I can go. Let's be real. But the pause is back underway. The game's back underway.
Wonderful. I'm happy for that. So, yeah, there's your buyout. Mouse, he actually spent... Okay, he does have the AK.
Yeah,
so 4 AK, 1 AWP, and a Spaniz.
And it was actually, as I called it, Mouse dropped the AWP and swapped with Minis.
HellRaisers with a double boost up into the short. So again, you can have Kusha looking for the early pickup, but Innocent moves very quickly into lower dark and is able to get the spam across. He will fly a nade over there, but there was no connection. So Gamers2 do control the mid at the moment. But breaching up into short, they've had troubles with this over the last couple of rounds. And Dust2 is still out there holding on long.
Yeah, and he's pushed up to pit, so it's a bit of an off angle. Common spot. They'll definitely check it, but an off angle from where they had played it. They've only really had that one eco round rush toward long to deal with, though, so it's not like they've seen much there. They'll definitely be aware, but they're grouping toward mid. Mouse wants to come around that corner on Cat. That flash comes out on him. Adren's there. How did Adren not see him? He was behind the pipe. He had the cross. He had to have spotted him, but he doesn't. Actually,
I don't know if the flash caught him on the way through. And he's going to catch out Dossi, who was trying to push out through A long and get that flank happening. So now with HellRaisers losing 2 on the defensive A, the players over on the B side have no other choice but to rotate over. The last one was brought down long A, and G2, they're going to be a little bit surprised that no one's here on the A site. Because Flamey and Angel, they're back at T-spawn. In fact, Mani's going to be the first one to scout him out. He's sitting all the way back up at top mid at the moment. And he's actually going to walk directly into him. Yep, not where he wants to be. Has to back the hell out of there as quickly as possible. And looks like HellRaisers are just going to try and save the M4s. They can't breach back into A up against those players. Up against all 5 and up against Norp. Get 1 pick, that's at least nice.
So this gun round should go the way of G2. That'll give them 4 rounds. Again, we talked about this map being a lot more even.
And Innocent could see Angel's gun just poking out there for a moment.
Yeah, patience was the virtue. Wait for the shot. So Flamey's the only one that gets away so far, but he's still spotted up. He gets 2 at the end. Wow. So good exit, good consolation prize. Forces G2 to have to buy, and where they haven't won successive rounds, they actually don't have a whole lot of economy to work with as a result of that.
To work with.
Yeah, so they're not going to be able to buy out too much at all. In fact, it's still going to be HellRaisers that have the better buy off of this.
This is also going to set up HellRaisers for the next round. There's still 4 AKs, 1 AWP. So they still have a hell of a lot working for them.
But they don't have full nades because Innocent's empty, and he's your strat caller. He's the guy that's going to be orchestrating this, and he's going to be one that calls where those grenades go. So they'll have to be more efficient. There's your early
He's looking for the second too, Kusha.
But watch over at B tunnels right now.
Yeah, that was a really quick push-up by Angel. He went straight out through the mid with the smoke to cover so he can get up to that lower dark area, because that was also where Gamers2, the previous round, rushed themselves up to try and control up on short A. And this time, because obviously Kusha was looking for the pickup, they needed to have that cover. They managed to close the hole they opened up last round.
So they still haven't found a pick. They're going to fan back out across the map. Bombs with Mouse at the top of mid. They're still back at T-spawn trying to find at least one pick. They've got to be careful, though, because Dozia's inside the long cave. Adren's coming around to support him. If they're not careful walking through the door, they're going to have an
look left.
Unfriendly
look
welcome.
Left.
They do check it.
He doesn't get either. But he's got support. Nadrin will mop it up. Looking for the third. He's able to get him. Threading the needle between the two sets of doors. And levels it up at 4 apiece. HellRaisers hold the line. And Gamers2 get shut down as they try and breach.
And right now it's all Rollin, Miniz, and Mouse that are doing the work. Innocent and Spiro combining for 2 kills. They can step it up. Spiro's had some good games for them in the past. He's actually a player that I've been quite interested in watching more from. He's a little bit less known than some of his teammates. Kutcher, though, is going to take down Rollin. Nice shot over top of that smoke at mid. There's your early pick. And watch out, because they've also got Angel through that smoke on the other side of the doors, so they're taking full map control while they can. And G2's got nowhere to go. They're already funneled because Dozy has pushed up long. At least they open up something with Angel dropping down. But like I said, the defense have fully taken control of the map, and G2 has to fight themselves out of a trap.
Yeah, and realizing the last guys were in lower dark, Dossier pushes up through the long A and is just able to easily hold the mid. It's an almost impossible situation for Mouse. All he can do is just back up and maybe look for any kind of people that chase him to take out his gun. That's the only thing that's really available to him now. It's just been amazing how successful Kusher has been on that sniper. Every time he's been looking for the pickups, he's been getting them too. And the funny thing is, he's not even the top one, because Dossier and Flamey have been working their asses off, both with 8 kills, Kusher over on 7. And the rest of HellRaisers are really pulling their weight here. But it really feels like these early pickoffs from Kucha are changing everything.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things with Dust, with the mid pick. That's why it's so revered. And you'll see when we get into the main league, watch what Smiths does with it. He'll bait it out with the smoke and pop out and try and get that early pick every single time from the CT side. The other thing, it's equally detrimental on the cross to B, not only for the kills on the CT. Oh, they set long. Oh. What a shot, though, by Innocent. There's the one, Deeg. Easily picked Kutcher down.
Out of every gun that could shut him down is going to be the Deagle. But there's more support here. Dossier, he was staying in close before. They weren't even to pull back. If he just holds his ground for just a second longer, was able to pick up Mouse and Adren, throwing out the molly, trying to keep him back as well as throwing out the flashbangs. They can't quickly push up through A here at G2. And in fact, Innocent's forced to hold back as well, just because of that Molotov. But they're ready to come through long A. We do have at least one player. Angel is pushed up through mid, so you'll see if they're going to actually flank themselves back and come to B or come through short, while Adren gets to watch down towards long, and that's exactly where Spiro is moving up. With all 3, the smokes come out, and now Angel, he's doubling back through short.
There's a gap. Flamey pulled out the fire at the wrong time, though, because the only time he had the line of sight was when he was throwing the nade, but there's the reverse hop from Catwalk. Angel's got one.
And now Adren's going to do the job in short. There's still one over at the car, and now Flamey will find him after he gets around the edge of the smoke. So, G2. I thought that would be a little bit more successful with that one, but they just took too long to get up.
And the point I was going to make, just to finish what I was saying, is that for the T's, it's not even about that mid-pick. It's about calling your cross to B. The way these CT teams are playing it quite dynamic these days, it's a little bit less important, although right now they'll spot 3. Miniz is there. Tries to do that one-on-one battle with Kutcher. Neither of them connect.
That's a deal with blanks. 6-4. These nades again. G2, they've taken so much punishment over on the long A. And Rylan's not looking too healthy at the moment. He's dropping down, but it's going to be Angel to get the first pickup. Pushing up with the ult. Now Kucher as well. Through those mid doors. Catching out Miniz up at the top mid. And again, they just try and stall up the action. And again, G2 don't know where they're supposed to push. They've got 2 sitting at the top of mid. 1 looking towards long A. But the long A is down to 12 life points. That's Rylan. And they need to find a pickup before they can get up, but it's all in the hands of Mouse to get that kind of pick. And he's got to get a pickup against 2 AWPs. Good luck.
And Angel is still supporting it mid.
Dust2,
man, he's playing so well in that long position. They've got to find a way to slow that down. They've got to find a way to contest it, whether if they just want to put one player over there at the start of the round inside the doorway so he at least can't push. And another easy kill for him on the mouse. They have no answer for that right now. They've got to find a way to control long.
At least Spirit can get something back, but it's only one. It's Flamey, and he gives away his position in the mid, and that's when you see the rotation. That spam came as quickly as it could from Dust2 as he's sitting all the way back up at T-spawn. So they're battling from lower dark up to the top, but Angel will pick up his second frag for the round, and we'll win it up for HellRaisers. So HellRaisers, they had a very rocky start, but ever since then, it's kind of been a bit of a snowfall going the way of HellRaisers.
Yeah, and like I say, that long presence, Dozier is just getting into the doors absolutely free. You were laughing.
I just feel like I've just been on the Titanic as we've just done a 360. Oh, Nate. Oh, that's a good one up the
camera
mid.
angles are on point. But look at this mid presence. They've got pistols, but they're already up catwalk this time. Angel's going to fall back. Dosia's out of the way and coming back to support, and they're already there. The rotations have already happened.
Ooh,
and that nade does mass damage. Look at how much damage it did to Spiro, because he's got no armor to speak of, so a full damage to him, and now he drops easily to Adren.
They're getting caught on the catwalk right now. Curiosity definitely killed them as they tried to inspect the nade that came through the short. But HellRaisers, they just take the last one out and long with Adren's pistol doing the work. But HellRaisers, these blocked nades, the timings of everything, it's just been flawless ever since their hiccup at the start. And now they go 8-4 and Gamers2. It's so rough for them, but they at least have a buy round now. They at least have a buy round.
Well, and I said that we've seen two faces of Gamers2 on this map. They've been fairly consistent aside from that one absolutely abysmal 16-2 against Fnatic. But HellRaisers are here to play, and there it is, the double Pokeball, 2 caught.
They were blind. They didn't even see their own death. They just tried to push up through long A. They brought a lot of players out there too without any kind of cover fire. As the flashes came the way of HellRaisers, just one nade in front of the doors. It wasn't in deep. It was them pushing out and they got nailed. And HellRaisers just mop up the rest.
Yeah, this default's not working for G2. The double op's absolutely tearing them apart, and then that nade was just insult to injury. I think they've got to try B tunnels at this point. They've got to get into concealment.
But they can't get through there because you're also having Angel pushing up with that orb. Well, and he's able to get the choke point just as they try and get through upper dark.
The thing is, though, if they can control the mid to at least get in and sustain the positioning in lower dark, or at least in upper dark, they can set up. Right now, they're not even getting set up before they're losing players, and they've got nothing to work with. Again this time, though, they're heading to, they're going to fake it off catwalk.
And there's one in the mid already with the first shot.
Late on those smokes, though, so they've given up their positioning.
With the smoke, they've actually cut him off, but they can't also see Kucha to bring him down. The window shot comes out from Angel. They still want to close boxes. That's going to be Flamey, and there is just no way. They keep getting caught in every single crossfire, and it's a death trap in mid for G2. The last one left is Innocent. He'll at least get one, so not so innocent anymore. But he's backing the hell out of dodge and getting into dark. But Angel's already up there, and he's waiting for him. He's looking towards the stairs. And Innocent will back down again.
Yeah, and Adren's pushed out long, so there's nowhere else for him to go. They're just going to swarm him here. He's surely going to drop. If he can at least get a few more kills, it would help them significantly because it's 5 digits for everybody on HellRaisers. They've got full control, and we've only got one more round and a half. Not looking good at all for Gamers2. I like that they changed things up. I'll give them credit. They tried to fake it up cat with a quick rush, but at least lob those smokes off the wall, bounce them so they're in CT before you get there. The problem was Angel was sitting there. He may not have hit that op shot, but he said, guys, I got 3 guys in mid. This is fairly obvious what they're doing. And then, like you said, it was just a death trap. They couldn't go anywhere. Finally, we're going to see them go into B tunnels.
But the nades again, it hurts so badly as they try and run in, and there's a lot of defense. Angel sitting very back in window, another flash. They'll pick up one. They're looking for the second. One's a car, one's a boxes, while Maniz pushes up through the middle. He at least brings down Adren, but the T's are just losing everybody again. They just tried one last hurrah to try and go in through the upper dark, and they failed.
Yeah, and 11-4, man, oh man. That's not at all what G2 wanted to start this off. So
practically 10 rounds in a row for HL.
Yeah, HellRaisers looking very good. Keep in mind, G2 did pick Overpass. It's a bit of a wild card map. We'll see if it works out, but it's not so wild anymore. It's actually the map that... Well, okay, I'll say it this way. HellRaisers won't have as much experience on it. G2 will. They're forced to play it for ESEA, so they'll have a little bit more time and practice with it. They're going to want to bank on that, but I don't know HellRaisers' experience on Overpass. There's not much. I'm going to say that it's not going to be wise, but we saw what happened. Sometimes when you go for that wildcard pick yesterday, Mouse did it against Flipside. Little did they know, Flipside also loves cash. So it bit them entirely, but they're going to have to rely on that wildcard to force 3 games because this one's Well, I won't call it like I did yesterday because we had a major comeback, but this one's not
But you can call
great.
it like you did yesterday, and we'll have a very exciting game now for map number 1, so go ahead and do it if you want to. I'm fine with that.
I plead the 5th.
They're actually giving him... It only works in America. Here in Bucharest, man. Push coming up from HellRaisers. So they do actually take out long A. G2, they're going to hold deeper on the A side, but look how quickly HR are moving up. In through short, how quick can they deal with them? Very, very quick. Mouse drops very quickly, and there's only one left on the side. The nades tossing in, able to claim him with the first chip damage. Then the pistol from Flamey finishes the job, and they turn around, realizing the flank is going to come up from G2 up through short. They take one. They look for the second as well. It probably won't take them long to finish it, as there's an injured hero player in the middle lane. Ah!
You got
It's happened!
in the middle lane.
It's happened! It happened! It happened!
I'll give you credit.
Balls!
Dust2 has to be one of the more linear maps. There is sort of a top and a bottom, so that's your one slip up for today.
Yeah, that's it. There's no more. There's no more. There's not allowed to be any more. Didn't do any yesterday.
Chat's going to hold you to it as well. Yeah. They're going to be entirely intent upon that. I hope that Twitter blows up right now.
Just share the love, boys. Share the love.
So with HellRaisers picking up the pistol as well, I mean, this is just going to be super hard for Gamers2 to do anything.
Got to look towards long right now. There's one defense that could happen from Mouse. He's got 3 players right in front of him at the moment. Meanwhile, Angel is able to defend inside on Catwalk side.
Oh, nice shot by Spiro. Took him a few to get there, but at least he gets Angel down. He'll forfeit the round because he's got no choice. 1-on-3, bomb already planted. We'll see if he can at least bait one out and get a gun out of their hands, though.
That trap I was looking for on the long A, Mouse was perfectly sitting in the box area, and they walked past him inside the smoke. And Kuchi just put one deagle shot into him. It's like, what the hey was this? Adren, too easy. Spiro gets shut down in upper dark again. As we go 13-4. It doesn't seem like the momentum is shifting for HellRaisers against them.
No, and G2 actually invested quite a bit into that second round, so now they've got a full save, and if they don't get some kills, they're going to barely be able to buy themselves in the, or at least full buy into the gun round. They'll have to play this wise. HellRaisers, meanwhile, still quite fragile. Could be broken.
Oh, look at G2 are trying to predict. They're just trying to predict that HellRaisers come over towards the B side. But
yeah, they've gone for the stack. The problem is, by doing this stack, they haven't seen anything yet. They have no information.
It's like if you go for at least for the long A stack, you're going to get a little bit more information out from that one. But holy Hannah, it's like there's a war zone amid the flashes, and they just line themselves up.
Tried for that boost. I mean, the push side of what I was going to say is that because they're playing so passive, to not lose guns on the HellRaisers side, knowing that they're also not in a great economical position, they didn't actually search for information at long to figure out. Now they finally have Dozy up there, and he's going to call, okay, A's wide open, guys. Don't walk into that. But it took them a little bit of time to get there. They're quite fortunate that Angel won that battle at mid. Because that's entirely how eco rounds get turned around. You get early picks, you grab that gun, and then you got a threat on your hands where you're a man down and you're still scrambling to get map position. But that bomb's going to head over to A. G2's not even rotating out. Yeah,
but they kind of have to. Like you're still running eco. Maybe get a rifle here or there, but is that going to be enough to get you back inside this game? I suppose you're probably desperate enough that there isn't really much of a choice. And now Flamey, well, he scouts out where the rest of G2 are hiding, and HellRaisers is going to lock him into this box. As they do just have him at the very, very back. Opening through mid, there's Dosia, and they have mopped up the rest of G2. Not a problem at all. 14-4, so HellRaisers looking to take a very quick victory here in map number 1. But G2 at least have some M4s this round, but this is their last buy. So if this doesn't work for them, HellRaisers, it should be a very simple next round to take the victory of map 1.
And that opt for Kutcher. See if he can find a pick through mid, but they've smoked it off quite efficiently, so they will get 2 over to B. Flamey's going to be the one that's there. He's smoked out as well. He has to fall back. So it's up to Dosia now to find the first pick. He tries it long, but he's immediately countered. Innocent gets him through the edge of that smoke on the corner. So 1 up now for G2. This is how they need to start it. So we see Rollins still holding off in middle, but as we can see in X-Ray, it's a cat presence right now for the HellRaisers team.
Now the problem for them is they're still being watched. Like Mouse is back there, but if they can get rid of him, then they've almost got an easy breach into A. Because G2, they've got 1 on long and 1 down in CT spawn. So they just need to be able to secure the cat, which means Mouse needs to die if HellRaisers are going to get this. But with only 4 players up, they're being a little bit more cautious about this. The bomb is still sitting back at the short, coming now up towards the stairs.
the problem, too, is not only that Mouse is the only one on A, he's really separated from Maniz, who's still got a player at long to contend with. Finally, he's going to rotate back, and Innocent's going to come up the ramp, but it's all going to come down to Mouse, and he drops early, so the angles have to be strong. Innocent finds 2, and it's so important that he does so, and Maniz is completely aware that Angel's still lurking, turns back on him, and it's all on Kutcher, but again, no one home at A. They've fallen off it to recover those positions. So he gets a plant for free, and Rollin jumps up. He takes him down an elevator. He's trying to find him on that plant position, but couldn't do it, and they've got to be so careful. They are up close. They should be able to catch him out. They're going for that jump peek, and Maniz comes around. Easy kill, great retake. And it was absolutely vital that Innocent got those 2 kills before he dropped, because if not, that round was over.
Yeah, that was... I actually thought for a moment that we would be saved there by HellRaisers, but with a nice little... just a dummy, jump him up, make him look towards the right, and then take him out from the left. Ends up doing the job. And Gamers2, they're able to avoid a disaster by holding on to at least most of their weapons. They do have one of the AWPs as well as the rest of them being... Actually, they got double AWPs? No, they're switching out the AWPs. So 4 M4s as well as the AWPs. They at least have money, but there goes your AWP. Kutcher already with the early pick off. And Mouse trying to push up very quickly up through mid, coming up from the short, slowing down the HellRaisers line, but they cannot get a pickup by making this push. He at least slows them down a little bit. And there's a defense right on top of the doors. That's Rallen, dead on double doors. And Angel, he's got to look directly towards the right. He comes in, he doesn't win the first hit. In fact, it will be Rallen holding the line here for G2.
So important because Flamey's setting up inside tunnels to walk in on Spiro. They win that mid. Spiro's completely caught out, and B's open. So now they fall back. They'll try and readdress things over at A. Mouse is still in CT, though, so it's a quick rotation for him. Not a lot of HP for him to work with. 17, but Innocent's back on the platform. Still with 100, not peeking. He's got to be careful, though. Kutcher's going to be the one to try and find him. Rollin's still waiting in mid. Flamey's going to contend with him. If he tries to run up Catwalk, he might get by for free. So now it's all on to A, and they might turn this around because no one's rotating just yet. Flamey's found Mouse. He's also going to go ahead and find Innocent. That's your only player that was covering off on long. So Spiro's over at B. Rollin pushes through mid, and HellRaisers find themselves the perfect picks, the only picks that possibly could have worked for them in that situation. And they'll get the bomb down. So we might see round 15 come out as that nade's going to catch out Rollin. Spiro 1-on-2, and he's got no choice. He's going to have to go for this, and they already know where he is. Dosia's hurt him. It's going to be an easy kill.
Again, trying to do that little jump over, get some level of intelligence of where HellRaisers are sitting on top of that bomb site. And Flamey, this is just that easy push up now. And taking out Mouse. I loved his better shot, like the one coming up around the corner here. Through the blind flash, it's like, okay, maybe that's going to flash up the guy coming up through the pit, but he brings down both of them, and that completely opened up the A side. Again, Kutcher going for the pickups. He got the tag over on Rallen. All they've got is a scout and pistols and armor. That's all G2 have to work with at the moment. So they've got to have the best of luck to get through this. And already Flamey now, trying to breach through onto that B site, but he's going to get smoked out. But Angel's managed to get all the way up through mid. He's got help. He's got Adrian right in his side.
There's no smoke on CT, though. Innocent's there.
Yeah, but they're looking over towards CT, and with Innocent going down, the two from the B side have to start coming up, looking towards window, but Adrian's already moved up, takes out the second with Spiro taking a fall. They do get flanked through mid, so Adrian has to turn, and he'll finish the job. 16-5 going to HellRaisers for our first map here on Dust2. They're looking in... after the first Dust, they shaked off in the first 3 rounds. HellRaisers have been looking absolutely amazing.
No, they were the better team, hands down. Not only was their CT side... I'll say 2 things. They were very good with CT. They took the map control that they needed. Dosia getting into those long doors was crucial. It actually meant that because he was so confident in doing that, they didn't have to commit that 3 push that I talked about. They could then fan out the map a lot more evenly. But I'm also going to go ahead and look the other way and say that the strat calling and the organization from G2 wasn't there. That gun round that they did get on the CT side looked good. They finally looked like, okay, they're playing a little bit different. Their meta was that they give up the A, they play for the retake. It worked for them, which is, I mean, that's more and more common. But their inability to smoke off and execute through mid was apparent, and it absolutely caught them out. That double op setup, they had no answer for it. They didn't get long control to shut down Dosia, which was quite predictable 3 or 4 rounds in a row.
Yep.
So overall, I think they need to tidy up. Dust is in the bag. It's out of the way for them. Now we go to Overpass. Should be their map. They've got a little more experience on it, but right now, I mean, the way they're playing it, HellRaisers could take that as well. We do have to restart the stream. We're going to do that just to fix up the slight audio syncs. But I want to
picnic.
Right. I want to thank, before we do that, I want to thank everyone who subscribed already because, like I said, that goes directly to the prize pot to help out the league. So thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah.